Goals since quarter time. They need 4 to win, minimum. Hallman wanted back to his left foot. Eagles going forward. Kirk was brave. Welsh off the pack. Hardly sighted, as we said. Kicked a goal a few minutes ago. Murphy did well. Now Whitey went for Pinozzo. Chips it back for Cranston. He wants to go. He knows he has to go. Ben Kane. Nobody overlapping, though, for him. Takes his time. Can go to the far side. Working hard there, Pinozzo. But still they're at half back. Down the ground he goes and high. Lally sits under and waits. Ben Kane now available in the middle. This side of the ground they do have a couple of options. Ben Kane turns and goes. He goes high and he goes long and he goes direct. And James Seller shakes his man and goes back, knowing time is not to his advantage, so he can have a shot at goal quickly from in front, 25, 30 metres out, to keep the Bays with a slight hope of victory.
Just that kick there just enabled him to hold Thompson off and eventually release him to a zone. He covered that area beautifully, the drop zone area.
Seller goes back, kicks beautiful, kicks straight, kicks his second. And in fact, is that 3 for Seller or 2? 2, thank you, Moggy, for the signal. As Seller gets goal number 49 in his career in SANFL football.
It was good work by Kane just to move the ball quickly. It looked relatively simple, but all the work was done before the ball was kicked, where he just held Thompson and then released to the drop zone. Still plenty of time left in this game. We're only at the 14-minute mark. It's still plenty of time for the Bays if they can get their hand on the footy and they dare to win.
I'm with you, Andrew Rogers. It'd be easy to get caught up in the Adam Grokey goal to take it to 22 points a few moments ago. 13 minutes gone. Bode. What burns inside the Bays? Kick out of the pack. Bouncing ball. Grokey overruns it. Awkward bounce. They go in hard. Parry's at the bottom of that, along with Kirk. And the umpire will ball it up. 14 and a half minutes in the final term. Massive amount of players around the football. Parry wants to hit it goal side. That's fair enough. Lally caught by Cheap. Brilliant tackle. Should be rewarded and is. I think it was there. We'll let our expert Andrew Rogers decipher it all.
Not so sure if he's actually had an opportunity to get rid of it, and then once he has hit the ground, there's been a pile on. I just don't like to see that in finals footy. I think they've umpired really well today. We've hardly seen a hole in the ball where they've actually people have dived on the footy. Not sure that was technically right either. 50-50, I reckon, Michael.
Well, if it was centre-half back play had been gone on, we wouldn't be talking about it too much.
It's a harsh penalty for a bloke who's read the footy well, turning the right side. I just think it's a harsh penalty.
Jay Cheap has booted one. He's got 2. The Eagles reply to the Seller goal in a couple of minutes, which is pretty important for them. And they lead the contest again by 22.
And he's appeared to have all the answers. Good play by Parry. Just assumes front spot and thumps the ball forward. Lally, I'm not sure about opportunity before he gets it, but a swarm of Eagles get him, and Jay Cheap's a recipient of a free kick. And he finishes nicely, and you know, they need to have those sort of goal kicks. Jay Cheap chipping in for his 1 or 2s a week. Can't rely on Henschels and Welsh and the like. They need to have a mixture and a blend of their goal kickers.
Redden and Seller. Redden probably had the better of that. Lally out of the middle. Man penalised. Took away that last goal. Good work by Simmons. Umpire calling play on. And I thought he may even have got the mark there as he punched the ball away and then grabbed it. So the 2 number 28s will go at this ball, but they won't get there because Cranston comes in, belts it forward. Kirkby slips it to Ruwan. Oh, bad fumble. Jarrett away. And again, like last week in the qualifying or the elimination final, Jarrett brilliant after a poor start. I thought he might struggle at one stage, but no. Redden with the mark, off to Jarrett. dangerous. Jared went down the line. Roundtree's tough. Hang on off the ball. Cheap got one from Ruwalt, and it will be a free kick to Cheap. So Jay Cheap on centre wing. Things falling into place for the Eagles. He's decided he'll take his time. Called to play on now. Ruwalt comes to him. Cheap decides we'll just bang it long. Panozzo under pressure, or Mills it was under pressure. Sikalella at the front. Looks, assesses, goes for Smith. He's a long kicker, Smith. What a finish from the young man. And I think that's it. I think the Eagles are going to advance and be the first team in 10 years to advance from an elimination final through a first semi-final.
Yeah, if the fat lady's not already singing, she's certainly clearing her throat. Good play by Sikalella, good body strength, and then just some width with the handball. And Smith, who's injected some real pace into this game, and when he came onto the ground, everything just changed a little bit for the Eagles, and he was one of the key players that got him back into the contest. He's a quality player, but if you're an Eagles supporter, don't get used to him playing too much longer for the Eagles.
Brodie Smith, 14 kicks, 2 handballs. Means he's probably covered 700 metres with his kicks.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Moggy. Here's Roundtree. So the big barrel inside 50. Parry can't take the mark. Kirk, Rudolph has been pushed back. He went forward, now they want him back there. Ruwalt. Back to Tape. Rennie's full distance. A 2-on-1. Grimer's in the middle of that. Got his hands on the footy. Ben Kane. Desperate handball over the top to Murphy. Murphy's got Carr. He misses him with a handball. Their skills have fallen away with the pressure of the Eagles. Taken by Tenace. Found some space. Away to Carr. Carr's got Allen running into the square. He launches long. Will Allen get there? He dives. He can't get there. Over the top. Knocked away. That was by Smith. Thompson thought he dropped it. Cranston close to the line. Gafrida. Eagles might get out of trouble here with a handball over the top to Roundtree. They're running from everywhere. Roundtree, slow start to the game, really finding his mark now, and Welsh has got it in the centre of Football Park.
Well, Jared's running this side for Powell. If he goes that way, he doesn't. He goes back into a bit of central corridor traffic and then drives it along to the goal face. Rudolph back there. Interesting. Mark Mickett sending forward. Now he's back, but what they really need are goals. Rudolph's kick hangs. Roundtree with a brilliant punch. Simmons and then Powell. Powell, another veteran, a premiership veteran from 06, assesses. Henshaw was brilliant. Just kept it under control. Powell and Sikalella, the old heads. And now to the young man, Pollock, from 50. He can carry the distance as well, and he's just astray. And at 29 points, you feel as if that's all they wrote for the Tigers. And there's one of the Bays fans, and I'm guessing that he's a Bays fan because he looks like a Bays tragic right at the moment.
And there's another Bays tragic.
I actually wonder what's going through his head. You know, they've set themselves up beautifully. Could have finished top come the last minor round of the game against the Dogs and couldn't get that one over the line, and just really haven't found the right balance about finishing the season off.
Pollock's kick to the path of Thompson. Left footer is a beauty. And it's been taken by a very, very special player. In fact, Smith was the man to get it to Sikalella. And he's had some important touches. And Justin Sikalella will celebrate if he can kick this.
Can't help but be impressed by the youngsters of the Eagles today. You know, the Polacks, Smiths, the Roundtrees, those type of, they've stood up today. And when the game was on the lines, it wasn't so much their senior players that brought them back into the game. It was some of these youngsters with their run and their carry, the Thompsons, those type of players.
Sikalella trying to work it back, but he misses. But it's a 5-goal lead at the 21-minute mark of the final term in the first semi. They'll play a prelim with the Eagles. They finished 5th. They had a chance of finishing 3rd. They blew it, but they're into a prelim.
To the last quarter, they've kicked 5 goals, 4 to a goal. They've entered the call, the Eagles. Panozzo. Bays can't afford this. Well, they certainly can't afford to turn the ball over defensively. They almost did. Ben Kane quickly to Panozzo again. He chips it down the line, and Grieger comes across and intercepts. He's back to his feet quickly to Grokey. Inside 50 while he was looking for Welsh, but his defender, his direct opponent, Mills, got around him quickly, wanted to move it fast. Another possession for Panozzo. This time his kick's a little better. Cranston, and then Tenace. And Tenace can run off and go long. Simmons, though, been good across half-back for the Eagles, knocks it down. Gafrida, Sikalala, Powell, and then over the top he goes to Cheap. Oh, Cheap sights the goals. He goes long and direct, and Jared Redden takes the mark and just finishes it off for the Eagles. Twist the knife. That's what it's all about now.
Just typified the Bays there. They went forward but with no authority, ended up kicking to a contest. Good discipline by Simmons to bring the ball forward. You can see the chain of handballs come through there. Jay Cheap, I think he'll say that's a pass and not a shot at goal. And it's just a value of Jared Redden where he can push forward and actually give you a tall marking target. He is relatively mobile. He can take an overhead mark and he's a very good shot for goal. So he can be used in that manner, if not in the ruck.
Amazing finish to this game, and thoughts immediately go to Lee Treby and Scott Lewis, the two injured Eagles. They'll be searching and gathering and trying to find a hyperbaric chamber from somewhere, and the pair of them will be in it. Bouncing ball. Might not do them any good, mind you. Adlington. Handball chopped off by Jared. Sikalala. He'd be loving every minute of this, Justin Sikalala. Got the handball to Roundtree, who pulled the kick nicely to Powell. And Jared. Now Jared's kicked some wonderful left foot running goals. He lines them up and gets the journey almost. Redden can't take the mark. It's through for a behind. We thought we were up for another one of those big Luke Jarrett specials. And here's Scott Lewis. That's a tragic scene if you're an Eagles supporter. Poor old Scotty Lewis. He may just well miss the prelim next week.
Well, judging by that, I don't think there's any doubt he's going to miss the prelims. Here's another opportunity for another goal, just to, again, work some more pain into the carcass of the Tigers this afternoon. It's the minor score, and Ormond was the man with the shot at goal.
23 possessions for Justin Sikalala today. That's the most for the Eagles. Luke Powell's had 9 this quarter for 21 for the goal.
Head-on clash there.
Jared Redden is.
Jared Redden, and I'm guessing with that head-on clash, there'll be no chances taken here. They will bring a stretcher on, and they will take no chances because it looked like he may have done some damage to the collarbone area, possibly the neck involved, and so we will see that again. And you might have heard in the background, I think one of the umpires saying that there's concussion involved as well. That's desperately bad luck in the closing moments of this match for young Jared Redden.
The only problem for the Eagles now is who to bring back on. We know Lee Treby's down with the ankle, Scott Lewis with the shoulder. Trent Henschel just sort of hobbled off about 5 minutes ago. Just looked a little bit tender, but he's sitting on the bench in no hurry to get up. So I think this is obviously going to take a little bit of time, but looks like Trent Henschel will have to come back onto the ground.
Well, here we go. The ball is going to be brought back in, but there's Jared Redden being taken from the ground.
Michael, as Jared Redden's going down, just interesting to note, the Eagles are playing one short. Trent Henschel hasn't come onto the ground. Obviously, Lewis is off, and also Treby. So the Eagles just running with the 17 men for the rest of this match.
Just as St Kilda did last night.
Yes, I don't think it matters too much at this stage. Powell flicks it across. Ormond, been part of a very good defensive unit, Jared Ormond. That's a wobbly old ball, and Kane Tenace at half back. Short kick, Panozzo. A bounce, not anywhere near as effective as last week, Luke Panozzo. Ran his full distance in the end. Then a short kick up, finds Bode. Wonder what his future will be. Bode kicks inside 50, wobbly ball. Thompson there, he'll just see it to the line. So Matthew Bode scores another behind. And it is a 37-point lead for the Eagles.
The ball brought in quickly around the far side. And just a downer for the Eagles just to finish with that injury to Redden. And as Soda said, they're just going to play out time with 17 men. They go down the line, Kirk with a big mark over the top for the Bays. Off he goes quickly to Mills, unusual option, and Mills kicks it straight to Mark McKenzie. He's had 2 weeks, you'd have to say, where he's shut down his opponent, but been very unobtrusive when it comes to statistics.
He's just a really balanced, really solid player. very rarely makes mistakes and adds great balance, can go into the footy. But, you know, just his role at the moment is just to secure and lock down in this defence.
So Chris Kane into the half-forward line. Seller got a hand to it. Thompson fumbled. Carr. And you would suspect it's Carr's last match, retiring from AFL football. I don't think he's going to play another season. That's not his intent, I don't think, with the Bays. So Josh Carr will fare well today. Just back to Mark Micken for a second as we look at the injured brigade for the Eagles there on the bench. But Mark Micken in his 4th campaign in the finals at the Bays. 07 he was 4th, 08 2nd, beaten by Centrals of course in the grand final, and last year 3rd. We remember back, and Ian Mogridge will correct me if I'm wrong, as the Bays force a turnover at Allen. But Ian Mogridge, they do eat their own down at Tigerland, and John Halbert, I remember, being a coach of 2 grand finalists at the Bay, and didn't he then get sacked?
Yes, I think that's right. It didn't fare too well in coaching at Sturt either with the same result.
Is Jared breaking from the back, and an opportunity for the Eagles to go forward in the closing stages.
Here's Jay Cheap, who's kicked a couple of quality goals today. His target over there was Grokey, and the kick died, and Grokey didn't go too much on it. And Kirk just sat back and take the mark. To Nace. Short kick. Oh, terrible kick. Turnover. Here's Polek. Put a bit of icing on the cake, young man. It's just a dash. Just a sprinkle.
It typifies the Bays, and they've really missed their targets, their skill level. I know the game is pretty much over now, but they really missed too many targets and turned the footy over way too many times.
So a long quarter as we expected with that injury. 32 minutes into the final term. Murphy, disposal was average. He was under a lot of pressure there. And there it is. For the first time in a decade, the side that's come from the elimination final has made it through the first semi-final. And what a magnificent effort by the Eagles. After 1/4 of the finals last week, we thought they were gone against Sturt, but gee, they've come back so brilliantly. They've beaten Sturt, and now they push the Bays out in straight sets for the 2nd consecutive year. Such a disappointment for Mark Micken's men. Now, as we look at some of the better players this afternoon, there's no doubt about the quality of Trent Henschel, because he retired from AFL football after such a disappointment with injury, and he's come back to the Eagles just to finish off his career. And he was fantastic this afternoon, provided something up forward, as he did last week. And Trent Henschel, quality player, quality person, and I'm sure the Eagles are very, very happy to have him, and he's with Sodas.
Well, Trent, congratulations on the win into a preliminary final, but a little bit of an empty feeling, I think, at the end, isn't there?
No, not really. I think
with the injured players, though.
Yeah, probably. I think them 2 boys look like missing, so a bit unfortunate for them, but hopefully we got a couple of young boys to step up from the 2s. So, yeah, very much looking forward to next week.
Just on the young boys, too, before we get into yourself there, your young boys in this league side, guys like Polek and Almond and Roundtree, they stood up well today, didn't they?
Yeah, so Brodie Smith as well. This deck just suits them, I think, and God's has given us the licence to just run and carry, and that suits them down to a T. So they've been awesome in the 2 finals we've had so far, so hopefully that can continue next week.
Just a little bit of a slow start, but those couple of goals from the far side were pretty important, from the bloke with a set shot with the number 37 on in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think a bit lucky, so yeah, just got me going a bit, so always good to kick a few, but yeah, as I said, more important that the team win and into a prelim final.
Well, Trent, congratulations on the win. I think everyone watching football, perhaps besides the Glenelg people, are very happy to see you do very well with your 4 goals. Well done, mate. Good luck.
Thanks, Otis.
Trent Henschel and the Eagles, and I guess that's an indication of their mindset, the fact that he immediately said, what are you talking about? Why wouldn't we be satisfied with everything that's happened?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's another game of experience for those juniors, and look, they were fantastic today, the juniors. They run and carry that exactly. They just play without inhibitions, I suppose is the right word.
Inhibitions, that's the word.
That's the one I was trying to think of. They just play a game of footy, which is fantastic.
So it was Glenelg by 16 points at quarter time. The Eagles had fought back to lead by 3 at half-time, by 2 at 3/4 time, and coming home with the breeze. Way too powerful for the Bays. James Seller kicking 2, leading goal kicker for the Tigers, and as we saw, Trent Henschel with 4 goals leading the way for the Eagles. 13-15 plays 7-13 through those stats quickly.
Yeah, just very quickly. Look, you can say total domination, really. Just use of the footage. Good handball to kick the handball ratio for the Eagles. And at the inside 50s, heavily in their favour, 54 to 35. Just in the end, they really did dominate the last 3.5 quarters.
Well, it was the Eagles by 38 points. Thanks, Andrew, for your company this afternoon.